I can't say I have any set design in mind for what I want this trade hall to be, so I'm just going to play it by ear, like I do most of the time, and see where that gets me. I'm thinking the first step is to put pillars in. That it's going to be the spruce logs. So each of the cubby holes where each of the villagers is going to be standing, each of these pillars next to them, I'm just going to be replacing with spruce logs. I mean, already it looks a lot better than it did. I like the contrast between the spruce and the stone. That's kind of why I'm going with the theme. However, I think I might actually want each of the quarters to be slightly different. Well, to be alternating, should I say, not each of them be different. So what I think I'm going to do is we'll keep this corner and this corner diagonally opposite completely spruce, the spruce logs as they are. Oh, there was a fox in there. Hello matey, you're back again. Oh, he's gone. Okay, never mind. So this spruce corner and that spruce corner over there will remain as spruce, and this spruce corner and that spruce corner will also remain as spruce. However, what I'm going to do is go a stripped spruce route. Now, I never actually use stripped wood, and I can't say I'm really a fan of it, but I'm going to try and experiment and maybe learn to love it. Where's my next copper axe? There it is. It just might add some variety, and it still fits the theme. I mean, yeah, it is a lighter colour, but it still fits well. Now let's do the same with this corner, and I don't know why I made this spruce wood. We'll take that out. I'll just fill that in with cobblestone temporarily. Yeah, I think I like that, alternating in the corners between the spruce logs, regular spruce logs, and the stripped spruce logs. Now, before I go any further, what I'm going to do is, well, first I'm going to sleep. That's a big priority. The second is, if I put all my logs away, I'm actually going to grab the crafting table, which is here, and make a load more pickaxes. Now, where are the pickaxes? Here they are. 14. There we go. We'll do 14. I want to lower the hole a little bit more, because this is going to allow us to distinguish where exactly the platform is going to be that for the first layer of the trade hall. I don't think I'm making much sense, but let me do the layout, and it's going to be, in fact, no, let me show you like this. At the moment, this is the hole, or this is supposed to be the hole that will go to the bottom of the world, like I've said the last 2 episodes. However, I'm also going to have this section be a walkway, like just under here, underneath this bit of terrain. So I have what, like 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then this will be the hole down here. So this is going to be the edge of the terrain. However, at the moment, it's kind of hard to distinguish. It's not especially hard to distinguish which bit is going to be the bit of the hole we're going to be removing and which is going to stay up here on this first layer. But just so I don't get confused, which doesn't take much. I don't know if you've noticed, but it doesn't take much for me to get confused. Just keeping my thoughts in order is hard enough. I'm going to be removing another layer or 2 of the hole, or until these 14 picks break, just so it's very easily identifiable. I mean, look, just look at this already. It's already much more identifiable which part we're going to have to be putting in custom flooring and we're going to be decorating. This is part of that first floor, whereas this is what's being removed. I think I've repeated myself about 3 or 4 times now. So I'm going to be putting in a bit of an excavation session here, and I will return once it's cleared, or once the pickaxes break. Okay, I'm back, and it's quickly come to a standstill because as I was working out the dimensions for the hole, which doesn't really take much working out, because all it is 3 blocks away from the spruce wood. However, I got the dimensions slightly wrong. You see here, I've only allowed for 2 blocks worth of space in front of the oak spruce logs, whereas all other parts of the first layer are 3 blocks out. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3 over there, 1, 2, 3 over there. It's only 1, 2 here, which basically means only one thing. I think I may have to move this entire wall back 1, potentially. Oh no, I found the problem. I might have to change everything, annoyingly. Okay, so I've got chunk borders on, and as you can see, this chunk right here marries up with this corner really nicely. As you can see, here's where the chunk border ends, and we have the dimensions, and 3 away from this chunk border and 3 away from this chunk border are our stripped spruce logs. Over here, it's not quite the same. So our staircase, the front of our staircase, is actually 1 block away from our chunk border, whereas this one over here is directly onto it. So already we're 1 block out over here. Then over here, it's yet again 1 block out, and the whole thing needs moving. What I'm trying to say is I'm overcomplicating things, and I've got the dimensions of the entire build wrong. So I'm going to have to remove a lot of this build and change the dimensions so it works out perfectly and symmetrically, because it's going to drive me insane otherwise. Okay, I'm back. Things won't look any different to you, but I can assure you things have now changed. The dimensions are all correct. So if we go around the chunk board, as you can see, these corners line up really nicely, and we have 3 blocks worth of space in between the border to the spruce logs over here. Blah, 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 blah. We have the same. The chunk borders line up with this whole corner, and there's 3 and 3, and it's the same for that corner and for that corner. The dimensions are all good now. So where I was before, I've now got 20 copper pickaxes, and I'm just going to do a mining session, and I'm going to head down, trying to just get a couple more layers down, or more. I can't remember. I think last time it worked out about 3 or 4 layers down into the world. I think I managed to mine with 20 copper pickaxes. So I'm going to do the same again. Mine down so we can just visually see the difference. Hey, there seems to be a flooded cave here. Great. It's not great. I was being sarcastic. So we can see I've lost my train of thought. So we're going to continue with the whole mining down into the world so we can easily visually distinguish the blocks of the layer that we need to be working on. Alright, so I shall see you again just in a sec. Here we are 20 pickaxes later, and we've gone down approximately 4 layers, or 3 and a bit really, because this is the 4th layer here. Also, the stairs have now broken through into the 1st layer, so I can actually get from the stairs into the 1st layer, but that's not going to be ideal, because as the hole goes down like so, and the staircase gets pushed back 1 block each time, eventually I'm not going to be able to access this part of the 1st layer. So this can't be a permanent way I get in and out of that 1st layer for accessing the villagers. So now I've got to decide on a way of getting down to that 1st layer. And after much deliberation, I've decided the best way, well, maybe not the best way, but the way I want is to build a staircase that will go down into this 1st layer. Whether or not it's ideal is beside the point. As long as it does the job, that's what I care about. Now, it is going to take up a lot of space down here, but there is enough room that we should be able to squeeze in past behind the villagers where they're going to be stood here, and the staircase itself. So it shouldn't cause that much of a problem. Plus, the further down we go and the more layers we create, this staircase will be able to go further and further down, accessing all layers. So now that that's out of the way, we could go back to building. My first thing, I want a barrier around the outside of the walkway to prevent me from walking off the side, which is something I would do, and spruce fences seem like the right choice. The second step I'm feeling is to put in a custom flooring, which will extend to the perimeter outside of where the villagers are going to be stood, here in between their cubby holes and the fences, and then also on the inside behind where they're going to be stood. Hey, look, another cave with water. I'm going to replace them with stone bricks. I feel like that's a good block for the floor. I think it will refine the place quite substantially, even though it is a single block. But the first task is to obviously remove all of the floor blocks that we have currently in place, which is the naturally generated stone. And with our copper pickaxe, that's not really going to be a quick job. But with the power of time manipulation, I can quite easily ensure you don't have to experience that turmoil. Now the only thing to contend with is the stone brick placing, which I think we can all agree looks a lot better already, and something I can again fast forward so you don't have to watch me place every block. Ta-da! Now we have a full walkway of stone bricks. It's not even a walkway, I don't know why I called it a walkway, but we have a whole first layer of stone bricks. Great stuff. Apart from this middle section, which you'll note is still stone and some cobblestone I've filled in, and that's because of, you can't see it now because I've filled in this with stone bricks, but that's because of the staircase if I remove that, because like I was saying before, as we go deeper down into this hole, this staircase is going to have to keep moving backwards and backwards and backwards, and eventually what that's going to mean, well, eventually, it's not even going to be eventually, it's going to be as soon as we start going down, down, but the staircase is going to be moving back and back and back. And so these blocks here are all going to be taken out anyway to make way for the staircase. So there's no point actually making these stone bricks because it's a redundant activity to do. Although I have left some of the stone underneath the torches, I've noticed, so I should probably change that now. Stone brick, and where's the torches? I can put that in my offhand. Oh, damn it, I've done that so many times. And another one. Oh. Also, another thing with the staircase, let me just go back to it. I'm hoping, well, I'm not even hoping it will happen, but like I said, once this staircase moves further back, I'll actually be able to join these sections together. So this part of the first layer over here, because the staircase will be further back, I can just simply build across like so, and we'll just continue the walkway round. That's what should happen, because the staircase will go underneath that. But for the time being, it just will block the staircase off, so we can't do that. But that is something we will be doing. That's not the only thing I want to do. Now that we have the stone bricks in, it feels kind of weird not having the same for the ceiling and the walls. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spend time removing all of the walls, and of course we're going to replace them with stone bricks like that. And we're also going to remove the ceiling of the first layer, and guess what? Also replace them with stone bricks. It will look a bit monotone for the first bit, but this is the first step of improvement we have to make, and then from there we can start adding things to the floor, to the wall, to the ceiling to make it look a bit more customized than just a single lone block. It's all baby steps, guys. It's all baby steps. Although having said that, let me just take the opportunity to distract myself by harvesting the crops. It's due a harvest, and as you can see from over here, we still have all of this free ground we have to plant into. All of this over here and some more over there. So I'm not actually getting any of these crops back yet, because every time I harvest them, it's going back into the land we've set up for ourselves. I'm going to take the opportunity now to do a harvest, and then we'll probably do one later on in the video. Nom 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 nom. I think it's pretty clear at this point, it's becoming like the Garden of Adam and Eve. I mean, look how bountiful our harvest is. I mean, look at it, it's so great. I mean, it's not fully finished yet, but yeah, I mean, there is still empty space yet our crops haven't reached, but damn, look how much we have at the moment. Anyway, diversion over, we're getting back to removing the walls and then the ceiling of all the stone bricks and, well, not stone bricks, all the stone blocks, and then replacing them with stone bricks. Here we are, all of the stone bricks now placed, and the place is looking a lot better, this first layer. Yeah, it looks a lot more, I don't want to use the word, but I'm going to say official. What do we have here? I had not seen this. Oh, it looks like we've missed a bit. Wow, how embarrassing. All right, I want to fill this in quick. Okay, so as I was saying, it's all now filled in, and it's looking a lot more official. Don't really like using that word, but you sort of can tell what I'm saying. It's starting to look like some thought has gone into it, even though they're only stone bricks. But it just differentiates it between what we've done and the rest of the terrain. However, before we go back to decorating, what I think I'm going to do is tidy up the rest of the walls that the stone bricks are connected to. So that means these walls down here, and also this section up here. I want to replace them with stone bricks. So all of this will be stone bricks. It's just going to look a lot better, I think. So that's once again going to mean quite a bit of mining ahead of us, which I'm going to be fast forwarding so you don't have to sit through it, don't worry. And then refilling with stone bricks. There we go, transformation complete. All the walls are now stone bricks. It's looking a lot better. It's looking a lot better. But it has cost me a lot of my stone. This chest is now empty, and this chest that was full of stone to the brim is now down to our last row, and half of that is stone bricks. So that means we're going to have to start cooking cobblestone again into stone, which isn't a problem. We have more than enough. It is slightly surprising though. Now, there's been a wolf in the area who keeps just roaming my lands. And so I figured, you know, he has taken out a couple of skeletons here and there. He's done me a favour. So I'm going to try and befriend him. Come at you. Look at that, best friends forever. Oh, that's incredible, that is. That's really incredible. I don't know what I'm going to call him. I'll probably call him, I don't know. What will I call him? I'm going to call him Travis. All right, Travis, do you think now with a new friend and stone bricks placed, we can get on with builds? And just above their cubby holes where the villagers are going to sit, I'm going to put some planks. Then I'm going to place upside down stairs, followed by stone brick stairs in between. And the place was now coming together quite nicely. I liked the alternating, contrasting colours of the spruce stairs and the stone brick stairs. I think they look good. However, I felt like there needed to be some more depth. And so next I decided I was going to do something with the flooring. Now, there was going to be a custom flooring I'm going to put in this part, the walkway around the back of the villagers, where they're going to be stood in these cubby holes. However, for the front, they're going to have job site blocks here in front of them, so they will be facing out here, and I will be there like, give me your items and stuff, and yeah, I suppose I can give you emeralds for it, and blah 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 blah, all that good stuff. Where's my X gone? It's gone into my inventory. Let's start taking these down. But I don't want the custom flooring inside of here to be exactly the same as the custom flooring in here. In here, I'll probably have a mix match of, I don't know, different stone brick variants. I'm thinking maybe I'll change that. But up front here, I'm thinking for some reason I want spruce logs to be a part of the walkway. So maybe at every pillar, in front of every pillar, like spaced out by a block apart, I'm just going to put these logs in the flooring, and I actually think they look quite nice. It's a very simple thing to do, and I might even, I tell you what, I may even do it. See, do I want it in front of the stair blocks like this? It's kind of hard to see. Let me light up. Do I want it in front of the stair blocks like this, or would I rather it alternating like this? I think it would look better in front of the stair blocks. I like how it looks. The walkway is now in, and so is the, oh, I can't say that's a ceiling walkway. The pattern along the ceiling, I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, it looks good. I like how it looks. I'm not saying it looks good. I like how it looks. That's what I should say. I'm thinking next I should mirror what I've done with the spruce stairs up top. So I should put, hello Travis, spruce stairs up down the bottom as well. That's what I'm thinking. And then obviously the job site blocks should go here in between. Oh, Travis, come on, man, get it together. And now I've put... Travis, you made me do this, all right? This is your fault. Damn it, Travis. Look what you're doing. There we go. Spruce stairs it is. Now, I was thinking to put spruce fences above the stairs or in between the top stairs and the bottom stairs, but it seems a bit monotone in colour. Maybe I should try something else. So I tried walls instead, but they seem a bit bulky. They just seem to be coming out too far. I don't like them. They seem a bit cumbersome, I suppose you could say, to look at. Yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of them in this scenario. So now I think, okay, what about something more subtle? What about stone bricks? Not stone bricks, stone buttons. And you know what? I think they fit kind of well. I do. Yeah, I think they look good. And I'd say this is where it gets to the stage where I start scratching my head of what to do next. I mean, already I would say I'm pretty happy with how it looks. If I was to move villagers in now, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I think we could add a couple more things. It doesn't have to be crazy good, but we can add a few more things to just bring this place to life a little more. Well, for starters, I know that I don't want to use torches, so lanterns are a good fix for that. And I think they add to the build quite nicely. I would say they give it more of a homely vibe. I think another reason the build feels like it needs something added to it is because of this stone brick wall, this monotone block. It seems like I need something to break it up a little bit. So what I'm thinking about doing is, again, I'm just going to experiment with one corner to see if I like it. Put in spruce stairs along the outside underneath the canopy, besides the first layer. And already I would say that looks better, but maybe I move these out one block so they're on top of the stairs, but I don't know if that's going to look slightly funny. And now we have the stairs a bit further out, and you know what? I actually think I might prefer it like this. And it's nice because we have a little bit more space for when we come to trade with the villagers. It's only one block's worth of extra space, but I think it will do us quite nicely. I like it. And then not only that, where's my X? If I take these back out, what I can also do is, as well as these stairs along the bottom, I can place them along the top as well. And I think it mirrors it quite nicely. It's definitely an improvement, but I think looking at the fences, now I think this section needs to be broken up a little bit with some more colour. And when I say colour, I mean contrasting colour. So I'm thinking we start from this corner, we take out this fence block, and maybe every fourth block we remove it. And then in their place spruce logs again that will connect the lower stairs with the upper stairs. And I think they look a lot better. The pillars really break it up now. I'm a lot happier with that. And I did think maybe I should decorate the pillars, like put buttons on them or stair blocks around the top and bottom. But I think because they're only 3 blocks tall, I think that might be a bit too much. I think this works out better. I also thought about stripping some of them. So for instance, in this section where we have the stripped spruce logs behind, I thought about keeping the spruce logs as they were. However, when we come to this corner where we have the spruce logs behind already, I thought about stripping these. So it'd be sort of contrasting in that regard. It's doing opposites. But actually, I quite like how just the regular spruce looks around on all 4 of the corners. So I think I'll keep it as it is. Would I say this section is now complete? No. I think we can add a couple more things. Now I'm going to experiment with taking this row of stone bricks out and replacing them with chiseled stone bricks if Traffers doesn't get in the way. And you know what? I like them. And I feel like I say, you know what? Quite often. You know what? I do. You know what? They look good. You know what? I'm happy with them. You know what? You know what? You know what? I'll put them down the rest of the walkway. Okay, so that's another marginal improvement with the walkway. Now, I think I can make another marginal improvement with these, I don't know what you could call them, alcoves? They're not really the alcoves, but the space in between the pillars. I think we can make just a marginal gain there. I'm thinking we put spruce stairs like so to create some sort of very, very simple archway design. It would just add a slight bit more depth. And yeah, although it doesn't offer much of an improvement, comparing both the arched ones and the non-arched ones, I think it's safe to say the non-arched ones don't look as good as the arched ones. So that's going to be something else we do now. And then as another trial, I figured maybe I could put fence blocks in as well. Maybe the top ones are a bit too much, but the side ones, I think, just add a little bit more. Okay, let's go down and compare them. The thing is, yes, I like them, but I think the ones that just have the fences along the bottom actually do look better than the ones with the fences at the side. So take these out again. What about, however, if we make some chains, let's just make 6 of them, and then some hanging signs. First time I've ever crafted them, by the way. And then place said hanging signs just in the middle of the arches. I'm not going to actually write any message on them, just have them hanging as a decorative feature. And yeah, I think they work well. I like them. I like them a lot. Back inside the walkway, I decided to try out some trapdoors. I wasn't sure whether or not these would work, but I thought, I'm not going to place them there, but I thought if I placed them along the ceiling, maybe it would add a little bit more depth. I did quite like them. I quite like them like that as well. Do I like them flipped? I do kind of like them flipped, but I think I would prefer them up. Now there's this position as such in between the logs, or I could do it alternating at the top. I don't like that quite as much. In fact, I think I might keep it like this. Yeah, the trapdoors in between the logs, I'm going to keep it like this. Now, as a final thing, I figured I am going to want crafting tables in here, because if I've got access to a lot of the villagers, no doubt I'm going to want to craft the materials for either trading or for condensing things down that I've traded. I don't know, whatever the case, I will want crafting tables around, and so I figured, why don't I put them into the floor? It's something I like to do in a part of the design. It's a practical way to have them included, so I figured maybe I'll just do them every other one, and in a way they add to the flooring. And now looking at the walkway, I figured it's probably as good as it's going to get for the time being. Can't imagine me improving it any more than this, and I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm definitely saying it's a lot better than it was. Now I think it's time to work on the back part, which is going to require a little bit more effort. So firstly, I'm going to need stairs. I figured, like with the walkway, I should do an alternating pattern of stone brick stairs and then the spruce stairs. However, what I'm going to place in between these stair blocks, I'm unsure about. I could do maybe fence blocks, but then I wasn't a fan of how the fences looked, although I suppose I could always take out the bottom fences, like so, and then place a spruce log there, although maybe I could do that up top as well. What do we think about that? It's not too bad. It's not awful, to be fair. I think I might actually kind of like that in a way. Then stair blocks around next to them. That might be a bit overkill, maybe. Maybe I'll figure it out. But I think I do kind of like this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put spruce logs in between these blocks. Yeah, and then the fence blocks connecting them, sort of like sideways dumbbells. Yeah, I think I actually do quite like that. I also don't want to neglect the back wall here, which is very bare. So not knowing what to do, figured I'd put in some spruce pillars. It's a very simple design, it's just pillars in the background. And like with the archways at the front, I figured maybe I should do something similar with the spruce stairs. So I just put that in the wrong way. In the four corners of each of them, I can just put stair blocks. And it's a very simple addition, but again, it just adds a little bit more to each of the pillars. I've done it again. It's always this top right one I put in the wrong way. And then in between, come on Travis, get out of the way. Travis, Travis, get out of the way. Hang on. And then in between the stair blocks, I placed fence blocks. Ooh. And then at the top end and bottom end, I placed slabs connecting the four corners of the stair blocks. I'm just going to ignore that until Travis moves. Seriously, Travis, come on, get out of the way. You're not impressing anyone. Oh, Travis, you moved. That's so impressive. Now I want to try and do something with the torches. Torches are useful, but I don't want them here. They don't look very good. I think we can all agree. I think that's another thing I say quite often. I think we agree. I think we agree. I think we agree that I say that too often. I think we agree on that, right? Is that something we agree on? I think we agree. So I'm going to do something a little different. I did plan to put lanterns in the ceiling like what I'd done here around the walkway because they look so bloody good. But instead, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to take out a block from inside the archways, put a torch inside, which you're thinking, oh, what? He's still placing torches? What's going on? I thought he just said he didn't want torches. Well, you are correct. However, in front of them, I can then place the trusty spruce trapdoor. Travis, are you serious, man? Get it together. I'm not really that bad. Don't make me put the shock collar on. Yeah, that makes you run, doesn't it? And then in front of him, like I was saying, yep, get the old trusty trapdoor, and it should still work. Hey, Travis, hey. And when I take that out, that should still, yeah, stays lit up. Nice. With them put into place, they were quite effectively doing the job. It was still pretty light, as you can see. The only torches we left in were under the stairs, which, as we've already established, but I'm going to establish it even more, is as the hole gets deeper and the staircase pushes backwards, this area right here is going to become staircase. So what I'll probably do is just fill this in with wool and maybe even have a walkway across here, like what we're going to do here once this staircase moves far enough back. In fact, this whole section will become a walkway. I might even put a bit of storage here for trading with the villagers. That's a job for a later date once the hole gets deep enough. But because of that, I just left temporary torches in here because if I take it out, it's not completely dark, but I'm just paranoid maybe a mob spawn or two will occur and I don't want that, so just got a torch here. But everywhere else, as you can see, the torches behind the trapdoors are doing their job. I really need to fill in the walls behind the blocks behind these stone bricks. It's just going to look kind of funny from the other side. The next thing to do, I felt, was to start making a bit more of a custom floor. Start breaking up the monotony of the stone bricks that we had going on. Like what we have here, which looks a lot better. We were going to start doing something similar back here. And the first thing I could think of were chiseled stone bricks. And then what I did to the bottom, I also did to the top. So I also took out the central line of stone bricks throughout the roof. And then I replaced them with chiseled stone bricks. Now I'm starting to place stone brick slabs. I feel, although they don't add much to the ceiling in terms of variety of block, they do add some depth just because it doesn't make the ceiling quite as flat. And so because of that, it does add a little bit of character to the roof. I also feeling I put in these spruce slabs and I think I quite like them as well. So that's another thing I'm going to put into the floor to go alongside the chiseled stone bricks. I think they just, again, it's just added another layer to the flooring, making it look a little bit more interesting. We're always after those marginal gains. I'm also thinking these spruce slabs in the flooring make the place look a little nicer, just trying them out. And again, it adds to the tapestry of the floor. The tapestry of the floor. Listen to me, what an architect. But I really do think it makes the place look a little more interesting. It's all about those marginal improvements, and this is a marginal improvement in my eyes. And I'll be honest, now that I've done this, although I could probably add to it, I'm actually thinking this area might be complete for the time being. I'm really liking how it's turned out. To say it's only spruce wood and stone, yeah, I really like how it looks, and once we get the villagers in, I'm going to like it even more. I think it just really showcases what a great person I am, you know, because I understand the villagers going to be stuck in this hole for the rest of their life, and so because of that, I've actually made the place they're going to exist without any sort of movement actually nice to be in. And I think that just goes to show how fortunate they're going to be, and they don't even know it yet. I'm taking a break from the trade hall because as you can see, I've said it again. Now that I've noticed, I notice it all the time. The thing is, my mind just keeps going back to as you can see. Stop saying it, Juice. Stop saying it. Our amethyst geode crystals have grown. So, I was going to say it again. So here I am back at the amethyst geode, harvesting them just to build up our stock of amethyst shards. I can't get it off my mind though. As you can see. Man, my live commentary needs some work. It really does. As you can hear. Wow. And looking at my amethyst shards, it's a pretty good harvest. Now, I could turn them into blocks of amethyst, and I bet you'd like that, wouldn't you? Well, I'm not going to, because you can always turn blocks of amethyst into shards, but you can't turn shards into amethyst. I just got that the wrong way round. Let me just redo that. You can always turn shards into blocks of amethyst, but you can't turn blocks of amethyst into shards. That's how it's supposed to be. And you know what was calling after the shards of amethyst? Well, as you can see, I did it again. It's the crop farm. And I've got to say, it brings me so much joy to harvest these. Oh yeah, it really does. Carrots. Wheat. Potatoes. Beetroot. Sugarcane. And here it is. All available farmland has now a crop planted into it. It looks glorious. Absolutely glorious. So from here on out, everything we get back from these harvests should be profit. We won't have to reinvest it back into the soil. No, we'll be able to use them as resources. Now the next thing I want to do is obviously get villagers into our trade hall. However, I'm going to need to set up a breeder first, and that's going to require beds. And what do I need to make beds? I need a lot of wool. Well, not a lot of wool, I only need 3 pieces of wool, but that's only for 1 bed. And if I'm going to have multiple villagers, which obviously I am going to have multiple villagers because I have multiple cubby holes at the villager trade hall, then I'm going to need a lot more beds. What's the best way to get wool? Sheep. So I'm setting up a platform, only a temporary platform, so it's not going to look nice. It's literally going to be a dirt platform, probably with some fence blocks around the outside. We're going to bring some sheep over and we're just going to breed them over and over again until we have, until we have a large population, but we don't even need a large population, just a fairly decent sized population we can get maybe a few stacks of wool from when I kill them, because I am planning to kill them. I'm not going to shear them, not going to do any of that schnaz and jazz. No, their life is as fleeting as their fleeces, which I don't know if their fleeces are fleeting or not. What I'm trying to say is their existence is strictly temporary. Now I haven't shown it because I killed them off camera, but I had a wandering trader visit. I couldn't buy anything because, I could buy something because I have emeralds that I gained from the village on the first episode, but I didn't want to because he didn't have anything good. However, I did get these 2 leads from his llamas that died on me. Died on me to my axe. And so here I am now, scouring the mainland, looking for sheep. A couple of them, of course, so we can forcibly breed them against their will. And it wouldn't even be forcibly breeding them, we'd be trading their ovaries for bread, something they'd be more than happy to do. And I'm having to travel far and wide to get to these sheep. I can see one up there in the mountain. You probably can't see it on screen at the moment because of how far out I am. Here it is, 1 sheep secured. Come with me, buddy. Now we just need to find that 2nd sheep. Although it's proven difficult to scale this mountain with the guy, so instead, I'm going to descend the mountain and head to our pen. A nicely lit up pen. Oh, I think I see one. I think I see a 2nd sheep. I do. I see a grey one, which I don't want, but I do want that white one. We've lost the sheep, and we could potentially lose another one if the skeleton kills it. Where's my other sheep gone? That's one sheep. I'm going back for his friend. Trevor's telling me not to, but I have to. I'm of the opinion you should never leave a sheep behind. I've turned hitboxes on. The sheep should be around here somewhere. There's the sheep, and there's the lead. Oh, that's not the lead. Where's the lead? Where did I put that lead? Is it one of these? There's arrows. Oh, is it next to him? All right, I've got the lead. I've got the lead. Got both leads back. I need to get the sheep. All right, run around. Bang. Got him. He should be following me now. Well, there's a horde of spiders. Let's hope he survives. By George, we've got him. Coming into your new paradise, my friend. And here we have it, 2 sheep in our little breeding pen. It's fantastic. And I got on with breeding them immediately. Here's 1 piece of wheat for you, my friend, and here's 1 piece of wheat for you. And now they should breed and produce a baby sheep. Look at that, that was quick. 9 milliseconds over 9 months. And this is what I'm going to do for the foreseeable future until we've got enough sheep for me to be happy, where I feel I could kill them, not only for a good amount of food, because I have noticed our food reserve is kind of diminishing, but also, like I was saying, for all that wool, for those villager beds, and that's going to mean regular sheep breeding. However, I can't just do it immediately. There is a cooldown period, and so while I wait for that cooldown period to elapse before I can breed them again, I'm just going to work at the hole, going down further into the earth. And yes, look at this, I'm using an iron pickaxe. I've decided to start breaking into the iron, because if I'm going to be setting up a temporary villager breeder as well, I'm bound to be getting iron golems, and I might even set up an iron farm before I get the villager trading hall in full operation, meaning we're going to have unlimited access to iron. So actually, I've changed my mind. I'm going to do it off camera. So in the next episode, these guys should be of a larger number and they should be ready to kill. All right, bye.